Hello everyone, I'm Nadienda, and today I want to talk about international organization. Well, one of it. When you hear the term international organization, what is the first thing that pop up in your head? Most of us would probably think about the United Nations or the World Health Organizations, right? But actually, there's an international organization that is much closer to us and has a direct impact on our daily lives as Southeast Asians, and that is ASEAN. Whether it's economic cooperation, education programs, disaster response, or even regional stability, ASEAN plays a role in many aspects of our region. And that is why today I would like to talk about ASEAN, its background, objectives, organizational structure, contribution to global issues, as well as some challenges it faces today. So first, let's start with a brief background of ASEAN. ASEAN, which stands for the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, was established on August 8, 1967 through the Bangkok Declaration. It was founded by the 5 countries, which is Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, and the Philippines. At that time, the countries in Southeast Asia realized that cooperation was essential to maintain peace and support development in the region. Instead of focusing on differences, they wanted to build stronger relationships and work together to achieve a common goals. Over time, more countries joined the organization, and as of today, ASEAN consists of 11 member states. The headquarters is located in Jakarta, Indonesia, making our country one of the key players within ASEAN. And now we're moving on to ASEAN's objectives and functions. The main goal of ASEAN is to promote peace, stability, and prosperity across Southeast Asia. However, ASEAN is not only about politics. The organization also focuses on economic growth, social development, cultural exchange, and environmental protection and regional security. Through ASEAN, member countries can discuss some common challenges, develop cooperative policies, and strengthen relationships with one another. In many ways, ASEAN serves as a platform where countries can work together instead of facing challenges individually. So to support these goals, ASEAN has a structured organizational system. The highest decision-making body is the ASEAN Summit, where the leaders of the members countries meet to discuss important regional issues and determine future direction for the organizations. And below the summit, there is the ASEAN Coordinating Council, which helps coordinate Asian's activities and policies. ASEAN also operates through 3 main pillars: the political security community, the economic community, and the socio-cultural community. And in addition, the ASEAN Secretariat in Jakarta manages the organization's daily operations and help ensure that ASEAN programs are implemented effectively. Well, beyond its internal structure, ASEAN also plays an important role in international administration. So, as a regional organization, ASEAN helps governments coordinate policies, exchange information, and collaborate on issues that affect multiple countries. ASEAN also serves as a bridge between Southeast Asia and the rest of the world by engaging with major global powers and international organizations. Well, this role is particularly important because many challenges today, such as climate change, public health crisis, and economic instability, cannot be solved by one country alone. And speaking of global challenges, ASEAN has made several important contributions over the years. And one significant area is probably disaster management. Because since Southeast Asia is vulnerable to natural disasters such as floods, earthquakes, and tsunamis, ASEAN has developed mechanisms to coordinate emergency responses and humanitarian assistance among member countries. And also, ASEAN played a role during the COVID-19 pandemic by facilitating information sharing and encouraging cooperation among governments in responding to the healthcare crisis at the time. In addition, the organization promotes economic integration and sustainable development, helping member states to strengthen their economies while addressing the environmental concerns and social issues. And however, like any international organization, ASEAN also faces several challenges. And one of the most common criticism is its consensus-based decision-making process. Because major decisions usually require agreement from all the member states, responding to urgent issues can sometimes take longer than expected. Another challenge comes from the diversity of its members. ASEAN countries differ significantly in terms of political systems, economic development, and national priorities. These differences can make it difficult to reach agreements on certain issues. Furthermore, ASEAN has occasionally been criticized for not taking stronger action regarding human rights concerns and political conflicts within their region. So, despite these challenges, I believe ASEAN remains highly important and relevant today. Well, in my opinion, one of ASEAN's greatest achievements is its ability to maintain regional stability and encourage cooperation among countries with very different backgrounds. And this is not an easy task, especially in such a diverse region. But at the same time, ASEAN needs to continue adapting to new challenges, particularly in areas such as climate change, digital transformation, cybersecurity, and regional security. Strengthening cooperation, improving responsiveness will help ASEAN remain effective in the future. So, to conclude, ASEAN is much more than just a regional organization. It is a platform that brings Southeast Asian countries together to promote peace, development, and cooperation. Through its various programs and initiatives, ASEAN continues to contribute not only to the region, but also to the broader global efforts in addressing international challenges. So that's it, and thank you for your attention.